ושומר זכר בדיבורך, ישמיענו אליו יוחריה. אוי אוי אוי, השם נכון, שמריח ושם מצפרס, אוי וניסילו, איי 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 לקרס קלו, נהיה ישמס, נהיה קלו, איי לקרס קלו, נהיה ישמס, just going to add a little rhythm here.
Okay.
Is Boy B'Shalom next?
Yeah.
Boy B'Shalom Ateres Balai Dino Tolai Ay ay ay. That's too fast. 1 second.
Beautiful. Please unmute and say a big round of applause for Nasi.
Sorry about the drummer. You get what you pay for, you know.
Well, how much did it cost you, Nas? Nasi, how many instruments do you play?
I dabble on a lot of them.
I'm counting guitar, piano, flute, saxophone, drums, the percussion. Okay. I'm not going to make you feel any more uncomfortable. I just kind of keeping track in my mind a little bit here. Okay. Yashir Cohen, Nasi, thank you. And right after I finish this one, can we call on you for one more niggin at the end?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So please forgive. I'm just gonna mute you so I can speak now. And there's something that is quite fascinating about, toward the end of the Parsha, Rivka comes from her home to meet Yitzchak. And the Torah says that Vayetze Yitzchak lasuach b'sadeh. And Yitzchak went out to lasuach b'sadeh. What's the word lasuach mean? So Rashi says it's a lashon of tefilla, like speech. Sicha is speech. He's talking. He's talking in the field. Is he talking to Hashem? He's davening. From here is one of the sources that Yitzchak Avinu was misakein, that he implemented tefillas mincha. There's another pshat. Lasuach is a lashon of trees. as it says in Bereshis, v'chol siach hasodeh, all the trees of the field. So he was going out walking amongst the trees. That's another pshat. I had wondered, what's the connection between davening and trees? And it seems to me we could look at it in the following way. A person plants a tree, it might grow, but if they take care of the tree and they nurture the tree, water the tree, trim the tree, know how to do those things that the agricultural people know how to do when they dig the circle around the tree and they put all the stuff around there and they're doing things there like the Mishnah Gemara mentions. And you see it, doing stuff around the tree there. It takes a lot of nurturing to really, really grow a tree. You could do it by planting a seed, but a really nice tree, it takes a lot of nurturing. I think it's the same thing for davening. A person can daven. They can get up there and say the words, and they're davening, and we're davening, and it's davening. But then there's nurturing the davening. How do we go into davening? Have we cleared our mind going into davening? Have we cleared our heart going into davening? Have we dug that little circle around the trunk of our tefillah, clearing it away? And do we think about our intentions during davening and trying to really connect our mind to our heart, to our words? That's nurturing davening. So perhaps one of the ideas in connecting a tree to tefillah is that they both need a lot of taking care of, a lot of nurturing in order to really become highly developed. And our relationship to tefillah is a lifelong process. It's something that as we go through our lives can get more and more refined and more fine-tuned. That's part one. Then part two, same pasuk, Vayetze Yitzchak lasuach basada. He went out to daven, to speak in the field, to daven in the field. Lifnos Orev, toward evening, meaning late afternoon, mincha time. He lifted up his eyes and he saw that camels were coming, and of course, they're bringing his bride, Rivka Imenu. What was Yitzchak davening for? Some of the Meforshim say he was davening for a good shidduch. That's exactly what he was davening for. And how do they see that? Well, of course, what else would he be davening for? Eliezer went to go find him a shidduch. So of course he's davening for a good shidduch. What else would he be doing? It's obvious to them that that's what he's davening for. And what happens as soon as he finishes his tefillah? He lifts up his eyes and there's his bride right on the horizon, just like that. So halavai, it should be that way for people that daven for a shidduch and you lift up your eyes and there they are. The same thing happened with Eliezer and Rivka, that he lifted up his eyes and there she is, the one who's supposed to be Yitzchak's wife, giving all the water to him, to his camels. The Rebbetzin said the Shadchanim would like that a lot if that's how things worked out. The parents would be thrilled like that. The young lady, the young man would be very thrilled like that. Say a little prayer and there comes your shidduch. But of course, that's not so easy. But what's the message? To me, just in terms of how I'm thinking about it tonight, tefillos are answered. They may not be answered in the way that we think they are. They may not be answered when we like them to be answered, but tefillos are answered. And I think that that's the direct connection. As we're learning about Yitzchak Avinu and his davening mincha and his words, and he's answered right away for his tefillah, it doesn't mean that we're going to be answered right away, but we will be answered. And of course, one of the things that we always have to work on in terms of nurturing our tefillos is not only when we daven and before we daven, but also after we daven. That's part of nurturing tefillah too, because sometimes we have to wait. We have to have a lot of patience. So part of our nurturing tefillah is after the davening is over. When we wait for our Kadosh Baruch Hu to respond, however he responds to our tefillah, he does. We have to have often the eyes to be able to see it properly. So nurturing prayer is a before, during, and after process that we all derive from what happens here with Yitzchak Avinu. Okay, Nasi, can we please call on you for our closing niggin for tonight? And also please unmute, Nasi. Thank you. There we go. Thank you, Nasi. Please unmute and say thank you to Nasi.
Thank you, Nasi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And wishing, thank you so much, Nasi. As always, great to see everybody and wishing you a beautiful Erev Shabbos, the beautiful Shabbos, Parshas Chayei, Nachas Bracha, Lanu L'Chol Yisrael. Have a good night, everybody.
Good Shabbos.
Night.
Good night. Erev Shabbos.
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 Good Shabbos.
It's Shabbos.
Shabbos.
All the
We're always
best.
Good
gonna
Shabbos.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Take care. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Getting Shabbos. Thank you. See you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Nasi.
you, beautiful.
Thank you. It's always a special
Inspiring.
privilege. Thank
Always.
you. Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
opportunity. Thank you.
Have a good night.